Berkshire Hathaway has a market cap or market capitalization of 635 billion US dollars. Today, as I record this video, Berkshire sells at $421,000 per share. The total purchase of these 10 companies was $68 billion, and today, the total value of these shares, if Berkshire is to sell them at the current market price, $266 billion. That's almost 400% accumulated returns in total. We shall start from the least to the biggest, and the metric is by the total purchase price. So without further ado, guys, these are the top 10 largest investments of Berkshire Hathaway. At number 10, Charter Communications. The one with the least amount of purchase price is Charter Communications. Charter Communications is an American telecommunications and mass media company. Buffett first bought this company in 2014, that's 7 years ago, with 5 million shares worth $904 million. Now, these 5 million shares are worth $3.5 billion. That's 390% accumulated returns in 7 years. Berkshire owns 2.7% of Charter Communications. At number 9 is Chevron Corporation. Chevron is an American oil giant company. By the end of 2020, Berkshire owned 48 million shares for a total price of $4 billion. Berkshire spent an average of $83 per share of Chevron. Warren built a $4 billion stake on this company, and when the company's stock price surged as high as $112 per share in the first quarter of 2021, Buffett sold. It was a realized 35% profit in a short period of time. Berkshire owns 2.5% of Chevron. At number 8 is BYD Company Limited, or BYD stands for Build Your Dreams, is a Chinese manufacturer of automotive products. Amongst these 10 companies, BYD is the only company that is not from the US. As a matter of fact, Berkshire owns more of BYD stocks than General Motors. This is how positive Buffett is on BYD. Berkshire started buying BYD in 2008, that's about 13 years ago, for 225,000 shares worth $232 million. Now, this shares is worth $5.9 billion. That's 2,443% return in 13 years, and that is a lot. Berkshire owns 8.2% of BYD. At number 7 is US Bancorp. US Bancorp is one of Buffett's most favorite banks. This is true as Buffett sold off his stakes in strong regional banks such as PNC Financials and M&T Bank, but has only trimmed his stakes with US Bancorp. US Bancorp is a company that provides banking, investments, mortgage, trust, and payment services. His total stake with Bancorp is $6.9 billion, and Berkshire owns 8.7% of US Bancorp. At number 6 is Moody's Corporation, American business and financial services company. Berkshire's stake on this company is about $7.1 billion. That's with a B, billion dollars. Buffett has held this stock for 20 years. This means that this stake grew almost 30 times in value since 20 years ago. Moody's is a market leader and has a wide moat. Main reasons that Buffett has held this stock for 2 decades. Obviously, Buffett's approval stamp is all over this company. This could be worth your time to look at. Berkshire owns 13.2% of Moody's. Sitting at number 5 is Verizon Communications. Amongst these 10 largest purchases, Verizon is the only company that Warren has lost money on, at least on paper, that is. Berkshire owns 146 million shares of Verizon worth $8.7 billion, and the value of these shares as of ended 2020 was $8.6 billion, a loss of about $71 million, which really is peanuts for Warren, or even more truthfully, half of a peanut perhaps. What's interesting is that when Buffett announced that he bought Verizon shares, the price climbed by 3.8% of the same day, and that is the power of Buffett in the investing world. Berkshire owns 3.5% of Verizon. Sitting at number 4 is American Express or Amex. American Express is one of Berkshire's largest and oldest holdings. Buffett has owned Amex since the 1960s, and the success of American Express are primarily due to its business model and very popular branding. Amex's most common competition are MasterCard and Visa. The difference, though, is that MasterCard and Visa only processes payments, while Amex processes payments and issue cards as well. Berkshire owns $1.2 billion worth of Amex shares, and these shares are worth, wait for it, $26 billion to date. That's over 20 times return versus purchase price. In 2021, Berkshire gained $8 billion on this holding alone. Berkshire owns about 19% of American Express. Sitting at number 3 is the Coca-Cola Company. If we combine the worth of Budweiser, Pepsi, Starbucks, and Red Bull, these 4 companies is worth a combined total of $50 billion, according to BrandZ Top 100 Brands. The Coca-Cola brand is worth much more than this. The Coca-Cola brand is worth $74 billion, and that is how big this company is, and that is how big this brand is. The cost purchase average of Buffett on Coca-Cola is deemed to be $3.25 a share in 1988. On dividend alone, Buffett is set to receive a whopping $672 million from Coke. And that does not include stock gains, which is about 1,500%. I'm sure Buffett is thankful for the invention of calculator. Berkshire bought $1.3 billion worth of Coca-Cola stocks, and to date, this is worth $22 billion. Buffett is the largest stakeholder of Coca-Cola to date. Berkshire owns 9.3% of Coca-Cola. And we are down to our last 2 of the largest holdings by Berkshire Hathaway. Sitting at number 2 is the Bank of America. Bank of America is Buffett's largest bank stake and 3rd largest stake overall for Berkshire Hathaway. Bank of America is the 3rd largest investment bank in the world, and Berkshire owns 12% of the Bank of America. During the pandemic in 2020, Buffett was selling off his other bank stakes while building and buying his Bank of America stocks. Berkshire owns over 1 billion shares of this company, and today, this investment is worth $32 billion. And the last, but certainly not the least, of the top 10 largest investments of Berkshire Hathaway by Warren Buffett is Apple. Apple does not need an introduction, that's for sure. I do have Apple stocks myself. Majority of Apple revenue is the sale of iPhone, which is the company slowly changing directions from. Apple is gearing towards strengthening its software, cloud services, and online application services offerings. While mobile phone arena is highly competitive, Samsung and Huawei are major competitions. Not to mention local competitions by country. For example, in China, there are various local manufacturers such as Oppo, Tecno, Vivo, etc. And the same in the other parts of the world, hence the strategy of Apple to redirect products and services, thereby widening its high and durable moat. Apple is Berkshire's biggest position, though Buffett only started buying this stock in 2016. Berkshire bought 907 million shares worth $31 million. And today, this shares is worth, wait for it, $120 billion. Yes, you heard it right. That's $120 billion, which is equivalent to just over 42% of Berkshire's overall investment portfolio. In calculation, Buffett's dollar cost average or purchase price average for Apple is $34 a share. Today, Apple is worth $150 a share. You do the math. Berkshire owns just over 5% of Apple, making it Buffett's largest investment by far in all of its holdings. Thank you very much indeed. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you gained value from my video and my channel as a whole. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe, and I certainly hope to see you on my next video.